Well, the bike needs some work, but I got a helper.
It's me, Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering.
Dang it. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures, not Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering. Sorry. But today we are working on his 2005 Yamaha R6. The young man is back from Japan. He was stationed overseas, and he's back to the States. So thank you for your service, Air Force. Go Navy.
Wait, what?
Don't go Air Force. Go all. All services are all welcome here, except for Coast Guard. No, Coast Guard too. So we are working on the front forks here on his Yamaha R6. This is a 2005 model. Done several videos. I will try to post some links sprinkled throughout here. All the stuff I went through to get this motorcycle ready for this young man. And this is probably going to be our final major surgery on this thing here. The front forks are leaking. It's not that big of a deal, but if you've never done it, it can be intimidating. I'll show you how I do it, and as always, RTFM, please read the freaking manual. Tom's Tinkering and Adventures is not a manual. I'm here for entertainment purposes only, but you can learn stuff, I think. So we currently have it on a stand on the back here, and I'm going to do it in my garage ghetto way, and I highly recommend you do not do it, but what I am going to do is I'm going to get myself a tie-down strap around this area here, and I'm going to hook it up to that area up there, enough to get this front end off of the ground. And I've done this several times. That doesn't mean that it's safe or smart. So you please get the front end of your motorcycle off however you'd like to. You don't have to do it this way. So we're going to get the front end in the air, get the front wheel off, get the brakes off, get the front fender off, and then we'll pull the forks out, and we'll come back to you once we are at that point. If you don't know how to do the rest of this stuff, then you probably shouldn't be doing the front forks. All right, we got the fork out, and before we do anything else, we're going to get the top cap off here. I've already loosened the preload and backed off the, I can't even remember what that one is for, the adjustments. You want to back those all the way off. All right, I think you got it. Did it sound like it's popping? So you're wrapping up all my cords down here too. Jeez.
Man.
This garage is a mess. Actually, with my son here, he helped clean up my countertop here. So this should just lift up here. There you go, see that? I used my foot. Jeez, he's breaking stuff. Okay, so we got that off. We're gonna get out our special tools here, and I'll show you how to use those. Okay, so we're using this holding fixture tool. Move your hand there, son. We're using this holding fixture and a tie-down strap and a chisel or punch through the bottom. To hold this whole thing down, you need to get to this bolt right there. Or nut. Hold that nut, and then you can either use a crescent wrench or whatever size on the top adjuster here, or we just used the 24 inch I was gonna say. I need to get this cap off of here. So that just comes off. And now we gotta drop that down off your bench like a jackass. Take this piece off. You pull this out. That's for your adjuster for the top clicker there. And then we're going to loosen up this tie-down strap, and this whole thing is gonna come up. And then we will get ready to pull the seal out. So we're gonna loosen that up, and we'll bring it all up here onto the workbench. Okay, after we got that top cap off, I like to lay stuff out in the order that it came out of there. So that, and this piece, we can just leave that attached to it because we're gonna need it to reassemble. The spring, and then that's for our clicker adjuster on the top that goes all the way through the cartridge. And we've been draining this fork right here. Draining it out. And the next thing we need to do in order to get this fork leg off of here is to remove inside of here. There you go, you can see it. There's an Allen head bolt that goes in there. Now in order to get that out, if you don't have air tools, you need a holding fixture, and you can make one yourself. You can buy them. They're not too expensive. I made one out of a broomstick, actually. It worked pretty good. But an impact wrench almost always works. There you go, son. Make sure it's on reverse. Are you in there? Spinning out.
We're in there.
Okay. We'll get that out. We'll come right on back. All right, he zipped it right out. Fork cartridge is coming out of there, so we're gonna take this whole thing up and we'll lay it out here. I'll show you what everything looks like. Okay, so here's the cartridge that came out. This was attached through the bottom here to that. So I'm not sure what kind of a holding tool you would use for this. I guess something has to go over that and hold on down to there. So a little different than the ones I've done in the past, but regardless, it came out okay with the impact wrench. And now we are ready to separate the upper and the lower, so I'll hold this, and once that's out, this whole thing is just going to pull apart. There you go. So the lower fork leg is out. We can just hang that and drain that. We'll hang it up here and drain it. And next I'll show you how to get the fork seal out. So the first thing we're going to do is pull off these dust caps here, and you can just kind of get between it with a screwdriver. They should come off pretty easy. All right, and then inside of here is a spring clip, and it has two open ends, so what you can do is just kind of peel it with the screwdriver and you'll be able to see where the open ends of it are. Somewhere in here. There it is, there's one. So there you go. Well, that's not what was supposed to come out. That's the spring for the seal, but we're throwing that seal out anyway. So you just peel it out. Here you go. Aaron's never done this before. You want to get on there and peel it out this way so you can roll it over, make it easier. There you go. Watch your eyes. All right, now we just have to get this fork seal out. On regular conventional forks, these are upside down forks. On conventional forks, that actually kind of pulls out with the fork, which is kind of nice, but this one doesn't. So you have to get under it with a screwdriver or something and kind of pry around it slowly to get it out. But you want to be careful because you'll kind of mar this edge like so. If you're on it like this, you'll mar that edge. So what I like to do is just put a rag down and just go really slow, go around, and you'll get it out. So we'll peel that out and we'll come back. There's the seal popped out. It popped out really easy on here. Usually I struggle with these, but the last one I did, it was much older, I guess. Underneath that is a washer. So it goes in this order. Washer first, then the seal with the spring side up, and then the retainer, and then the dust seal. Inside of here is a bushing. You want to inspect that. It has kind of a coating on it, so look at that closely. If you need to pull that out, it can be kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, but if you have to replace it, you got to pull that out. And then now we're cleaning this all up. I like to just get a rag, run it through here. I use a broomstick or something to push it through, kind of like cleaning a gun. Aaron said that, so he was spot on. So we're going to clean this all up really well. I'll use some brake clean or some contact cleaner. Get it as clean as we possibly can, and then we'll start reassembling. Quick lesson here. We learned this the hard way here. I've learned this lesson the hard way a couple times, but make sure you research and then research again and then double check, or I guess that'd be triple check. So this set was advertised as fitting this motorcycle, and once we got everything stripped down here, getting ready to install the new seal, we opened these up and they were not the same size as the ones that came out of here. Well, Yamaha made for 1 year, 2005 only, made a little bit different front fork, and then they changed it, and then they changed, but anyway, these fork seals didn't fit. Well, a lot of local places don't carry fork seals. Due to the internet age, a lot of dealerships don't carry parts very much anymore, very little stuff, maybe oil filters and minor stuff like that, but we called around a few places and we finally found a place that had them in stock. So now we have some new fork seals, some Yamaha ones rather than all balls. And now I have this set that fits all kinds of different motorcycles. And on that note, if you have some dealerships in town, like let's say you need Yamaha fork seals, but you don't have a Yamaha dealer, what you can do is you can look up a manufacturer like this. All Balls is one of them. There's several. But it'll say what they all fit. Like this set of fork seals fits Hondas, it fits Kawasaki's, it fits Suzuki's and Yamaha's. So you could call and say, hey, I need fork seals for a Honda CR125, and it will also fit a Yamaha YZF R1 from those years. And it's the same across many different fork seals, many different models. So just something to be aware of. At this point, we're going to try to get this back together. We also got lunch. Stop it. So what we've done at this point is I installed the dust seal first, then installed the fork seal with the, you can see the little seal retainer spring around the top of it on there. And now Aaron's going to install all of this onto the fork leg. We've got this spacer that goes in there first. And this whole rigmarole goes in here very carefully. And now we are going to use the fork seal driver tool, which I have over here. In fact, here I will set this up, and I'm going to give him a hand here. You can do this by yourself, and then hopefully we can see it. And I'm going to stand it up here, and we'll see if I got you on camera. There you go. I'm going to hold this up. There you go. And then you're going to just give that a little. All right, now you take a look and make sure that you got room to put the spring clip in there. I think it's in there good?
It's in there.
All right, so now we're going to install that spring clip, which should be somewhere in our pile of parts here somewhere. And once that's in there, then we'll push the fork seal down, or the dust seal, I mean to say. Yeah, you can usually get that in almost by your fingers. You got it?
Got it.
Okay, now we can push this dust seal down into there. There we go. And at this point, we have replaced the fork seals. Nice job. But now we have to put everything back together. So the last thing we took apart before we got this out was this cartridge. So we'll install that cartridge. We'll get this zip back in there. So we'll do that and we'll come right on back. Okay, so at this point what we need to do is we need to fill this fork up with oil. So when you RTFM read the freaking manual, it tells you both a capacity, a type, and a level. So it's supposed to be 475 milliliters of Yamaha Type 1, which if you read up is about 5 weight. I've got 7 weight here. That's what we're going to use because we have it. We're going to measure out 475 milliliters. We're going to put it in there. And then what you need to do is, of course, we're not going to have it laying down like this, but Aaron, could you hold this? Down here. So we're going to fill it full of fluid, and then I made this, they sell a special tool. I made this out of a bolt and another nut, which I just screwed onto the top of this damper rod, or whatever they call it in the cartridge here. So what you need to do is you need to cycle a little bit of in and out. Because the cartridge inside of here has drained out, so you want to pump it up like that to get that fluid into that cartridge. You'll feel it. It takes about 10 times. You'll feel it start to gain resistance. Okay, so you do that, and then you need to measure your fork oil level, which should be from the top of here. It should be 92 millimeters down. And to do that, I am going to use my syringe, and well, maybe not that hose because that one's kind of curvy, but if you can hold it straight, what you want to do is measure on a hose or whatever you have attached to that 92 millimeters up. And I will probably just slide this hose clamp down to that level. So let's say that this hose clamp was at 92 milliliters and this thing was straight hose. You drop that right to there, draw the fluid. If fluid is drawing into here, then you're taking away from the, it would be overfull. If it's not drawing fluid, then you can add a little bit until it starts to draw fluid. And then, you know, it will draw down to wherever level you have this thing set. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to fill it up, and we'll come back to assembly. Okay, we've filled up the fork with the oil. We've installed the the holding tool,
The spring.
and now we got this homemade holding tool on here, so we can pull that up, which will be nice. Otherwise, gravity kind of screws you on this. And remember, gravity is a law. Oh yeah, look, we didn't install that, so we got to make sure we pull this up, and then we're going to hold it up with the wrench. So up. Put the wrench underneath it, actually, Aaron. Or hang on, there's an additional tool that comes with this, if I can find it. There's a little holding tool. There it is. Look at this, underneath here. Like that.
That's money, huh?
There you go.
Wow.
Now we can take that off. We can install that. Having the right tools is a nice thing. We can install this and then tighten it all down. So we'll come back once we got it together. Okay, there's Aaron of Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering with the completed fork. We didn't tighten the top all the way down. It's snug, but I've said this before on other ones. Once you install it, you torque the lower, or you don't even have to torque, just tighten. You don't even have to tighten these. Tighten the lower clamp. There's a lower clamp and an upper clamp, and then you can get that tightened properly. So this is ready to get installed. We're going to install it. We're going to do the exact same thing, only better, on the other one, and then we'll put it together, and we will come back with a finished product, I believe. The 2005 Yamaha R6 is all back together. We don't have leaking seals anymore. Still looking as good as she always does. It's a heck of a nice looking bike for the amount of money we got into it, and one satisfied customer here. And we're gonna get ourselves a little refreshment here. All right. Cheers to that. Oh yeah, we get cheers. Oh, brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon Extra. When you want Pabst Blue Ribbon, but you want extra. I don't know what the heck. It's got extra alcohols in it. Okay, so like I always say, read the manual. You know what I'm doing is just a guide, and we're having fun in the garage here and saving money, and probably going to end up having to do it 3 more times to do it right. No, I think it's going to be just fine. The bike's going to work good. He's going to have fun with it. We're bringing it to Utah.
That's right.
In a couple of weeks. So, well, they got a track there. Or they used to. Street track. We'll look that up. All right, if you're digging what I'm putting out, give me that
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. And leave some comments down below.
Most importantly, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you always get rung when this man
Wow, I
posts
never,
on
I never
YouTube.
say to do the notification bell. He's adding new stuff to my
This is
videos.
where we plug Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering because, you know.
He's got like 5 videos, so check him out. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.